8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Coming soon. Snake River Manufacturing is developing a revolutionary new way to design and build a custom kayak trailer. This modular design lets you customize your trailer one piece at a time, allowing you to grow as you go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for episode 10 of the Kayak Cafe. This is a very, very special episode for me. I have a couple of people that I admire. I've grown to know them, and I think that you're going to like them as much as I do. Just to get things started, this and every podcast for the rest of 2025 is sponsored by Snake River Manufacturing. They have really come along in the past month with all of their updates to their website, as well as their manufacturing layouts and process that they are working on. So give them a quick look at Snake River Manufacturing. You can also get to them by going to snakeriverlockers.com. It will forward you to their site. I'm also proud to announce that we have another sponsor for 2025. We have No Bad Days Kayak. Forrest Green with No Bad Days Kayak is an awesome individual. They have a great facility that is exemplary. It just exudes customer service. So Forrest is someone who will go out of his way to make sure you get your kayak that you need. So give him a look. Go to nobaddays.kayak.com. All right, so we're going to be talking about Heroes on the Water. And if you've been anywhere near me and any capacity and show any bit of military background, I talked to you about this organization. It was founded in 2007 by Jim Dolan. They prioritize wellness of veterans, first responders, and their families. It is a volunteer-led organization, or chapters are volunteer-led. And I'm going to bring on two of the Tidewater Chapter leaders, Patrick Soderholm and Steve Burge. Hey, guys.
Thanks for having us, Roy.
Thanks for joining. Awesome. Well, we discussed before this that I say awesome way too much, and I've said it twice already, so strike two. But I would like to thank you guys for coming on and being part of the Kayak Cafe. What you guys do is quite amazing. And if you wouldn't mind, do a quick introduction of yourselves.
My name is Patrick Soderholm. I have been the Tidewater Chapter coordinator for 2.5 years. And I've been a participant and volunteer with Heroes on the Water for the better part of 8 years. And let's see, background. I was born and raised in Virginia. The Navy took me out of Virginia, and I became a submariner. Did my tours on the West Coast, and Bremerton, Washington, and San Diego. Did my shore tour at Yorktown Naval Weapons Station, building torpedoes. And now my current job is I help the fleet support submarines at Newport News Shipbuilding with supervisor of shipbuilding. So I work for NAVSEA now.
Nice.
Awesome. Hey, first off, Roy, thanks for having us on, man. I really appreciate this. I know we get time to go out on the water together, but doing this really helps us out a lot. Thank you. My name is Stephen Birch. I was in the Army. I was an age-64 armament electrician for 20 years. I got out, did some contracting, then I became the age-64 new systems integration lead, where we put new systems on the Apache helicopter. Got out of that and started pursuing my passion of helping soldiers. Now I am the credentialing manager for Army Aviation. I help soldiers get their A&P, their EPA, their FCC license. I work directly with the FAA and the other services to do that free of charge. So working for the government still work with the Army. Passion is definitely Heroes on the Water, ensuring that people that need the help get the help, either at our events or the one-on-ones.
Beautiful. So I know that the reason I got involved, what I did was I was trying to start a business, and I was like, well, I'm potentially going to have to give back somewhere. And then I did a little Google search and found there is an organization that I can volunteer with that goes fishing and helps veterans. I was like, this has to be so packed that no one can get in. So I was beyond pleased when I reached out to Patrick and was able to come out and volunteer with you guys. It was a very eye-opening experience the first time around. So what got you guys into volunteering with the Heroes on the Water?
So I would say it was about 8 years ago. I was thinking about getting out of the military, and my brother introduced me to his best friend, Steve Burge. And he said, "Hey, do you like fishing?" I said, "Well, I haven't been in a while, but I don't mind fishing." And and he said, "Well, do you want to come to a Heroes on the Water event?" I said, "Sure." And so we went out to a Heroes on the Water event. I didn't catch a thing, but what I did catch was peace of mind. Uh, we got put out on a private lake, and I didn't realize at the time that I needed nature, I needed peace and quiet, and uh, I needed time to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize I needed that till the event gave that to me. And it was a very simple event, and all of our events are very simple. You show up, they walk you through the kayak if you've never been on one. They give you a really brief safety brief. Make sure you're wearing a flotation device. Make sure you don't what we call turtle or tip yourself over. Um, and then they push you out onto the water with a guide that knows what he's doing, and his job is to either be your buddy, be your tackle box, or just hang out in the wings while you enjoy your time by yourself. Um, and then after a couple of hours, they call you back in, they feed you lunch, and you're done. And the thing with the military that they always talk about with everything is we have a lot of ceremonies and traditions, and as wonderful as tradition is and as wonderful as those ceremonies are, being a member of the military, that pomp and circumstance,
Mm-hmm.
That extra flourish of things can get to be a bit much. Yeah. And so an event that literally just says, "Hey, go relax, take a load off, dip your hat, put your feet in the water,
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy." And I remember that at that event, we pulled off, we got in the car, and Steve was like, "So, man, what'd you think?" And I looked at him and I said, "We need to go kayak shopping." And he goes, "Really?" I was like, "That was the best thing I have ever done. And this is my new thing." Um, and so quite literally over the next year, we went shopping. I got everything, and I went from being a participant to being a guide, then now being the coordinator of the chapter. So I mean, to me, Heroes on the Water, it just I got immersed in it. I fell in love with it.
That's what I tell everybody that I tell about Heroes on the Water. I'm like, it has some side effects. You're going to get addicted. You're going to buy more stuff. You're going to want to be on the water a lot. And you could tell people you're volunteering when you're fishing. You're helping people. You're giving back. So, how about you, Steve?
I originally moved here in 2012. I spent 13 years overseas in Europe. I grew up outdoors. I was an outdoors kid my entire childhood. You have to put a lot of that on the back burner when you join the military, you know, your wants and needs don't exactly trump what the military wants you to do. I spent 5 years deployed. When I came back to the States, I had a bucket list of things I wanted to do. One of them was kayak fish. I jumped into it blind, with no help. I went out and bought a Hobie Outback in 2015. I had started at Heroes in the Water in 2014, just going on their paddle kayaks. Realized very quickly that with my back issues, I can't use a paddle as well. So I went and bought the Hobie Outbacks with the pedal drive. As soon as I got on the water with Heroes in the Water, it's much like Patrick, there is something in you that relaxes. It's not anything you can point at and say this is what happened. It's just you have this clarity of mind and this sense of peace where you're drifting on the water, and Heroes on the Water affords that to you in ways that most charities don't. Heroes on the Water, they'll leave you alone. If you want to be alone, you're alone. You will be as close or as far away from your guide as you want to be. And if you want to open up, you open up. It's ridiculous the effect it has on people.
It's incredibly therapeutic.
Yeah. So I started in like roughly 2014, 2015 with Heroes in the Water, and volunteered on a regular basis for every event I could. My job had me traveling, so I couldn't be there as much as I wanted to. But as I slowly got through, and then when I met him, I realized very quickly how passionate he became. Because my first experience with him is I took him to a tournament, and he had a Walmart special $250 kayak, and he about killed himself because we were trying to paddle back to the ramp against the tide. And anyone that's ever done that knows how hard that is. And he didn't have a pedal drive. He was in was it 7 foot, 8, not even 7, it was like 6 foot kayak.
Yeah,
ball. So the dedication he showed there, it was the actual TKA charity tournament we were doing. And he literally passed out at the ramp when we got there, and looked at me later on because I had to drive the truck, and goes, "I love this," which was amazing. And I saw the gradual change in him from the stress level of, dealing with getting out of the military, having a civilian life, all these things. And as he got more and more into fishing, you could see that was his way to cope and his way to get back on it. Over time, we became more and more integral to the team there. And to the point where the coordinator at the end, when he was ready to give it up, he asked us as a team to be the chapter coordinators. And I very happily handed over the primary portion to him because I'm a more behind the scenes kind of guy. I do the phone calls, I do the websites, I do all the social media, and I do a lot of the communication with other companies. But he is the face. He is very, very, very good at communicating with people and getting people to open up.
For obvious reasons, I'm the face.
It's the beard. No,
it's the beard. Yeah. I tried to grow a beard. I go from like stubble to homeless, and it's like,
so I tried to grow a beard for 8 weeks, and it literally looked like I went through chemotherapy. Yeah, like I had a patch here, a patch here. Someone asked me if I had mange. It was pretty bad, so I decided never to grow a beard again.
Yeah.
So
like, every time they try to give you $1, you're like, man, stop. I'll take it, but no, stop.
But so here's a funny thing about what you understand about military camaraderie. If we don't make fun of you, we don't like you. And that's the great thing about Heroes on the Water is it doesn't matter what branch you served in. It doesn't matter what job you did in the military. Even the police officers and the firefighters, there's something about the civil service that we all speak the same language. And a lot of times that's, ribbing your fellow man, it's joking around with them. And what you'll find that at our events is that we'll do that gentle ribbing, but everybody loves it because it's a familiar area. So, and we get to poke fun and stuff like that, but we're there to have a good time. We're there to relax. We're there to blow off steam. And that's what's the great thing is that you're around people that understand what you went through, no matter when you did it. So, I mean, I've been on the water with like Vietnam veterans, right? And they're teasing me about my era, and I'm teasing them about their era, and but we're all speaking the same language,
Yes.
and we get it.
So there's one thing that a lot of people don't realize, and Patrick and I are very fortunate to still work with the services we served with. There are a lot of service members out there, no matter the branch, that when they leave the military, they leave a piece of themselves behind, and they go into the civilian world, and they don't have that connection that you have while you're in. One of the things that Heroes on the Water does is get you back into that environment, because a Vietnam soldier is no different than an Iraq soldier, is no different than a Desert Shield soldier. What happens is they find people of like mind and like attitude with the same shared hardships that let them open up about their experiences, that give them that community they need to talk to. We've had so many guys that have not had contact with the military or a veteran in a long time come out and smile ear to ear when you call them a fucker. And forgive my French, but that's what happens.
You just got to be demonetized. No. I'll never make it. Yeah, I will say, when I went on the first one, I went and Patrick's like, oh, go talk to this person about what you've got going on. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that because I didn't want to come across as I'm coming in for a reason other than to volunteer. And I remember walking out and it was just like, bam, bam. They were hitting me with jokes and I was like, this is awesome. You're part of the group. I will say, I did have a conversation with one of the people that I was guiding for, and I let her know. I said, I always feel when I go to the Heroes on the Water events like I am a visitor. Like I'm there, but I'm there in a capacity of just being a guide. Not I'm not one of the guys, but it clicks in midway through because every time there's new people and you've got to see where they are and how they are. But by the end of the event, you're just like immersed in this joking, friendly, amazing environment. So that's the one thing that I can tell you from an outsider where I am a civilian looking in. I've never seen anybody, and hopefully I never do, see anybody leave there not having a good time.
So the way I like to put it is when I talk to people about it that haven't experienced it, especially with the military charities, people expect pomp and circumstance. They expect speeches. They expect people to thank them for their service. We don't do that. I say, we put you in a kayak, we give you a guide, you go out there, you fish, you come back, you eat lunch. If you talk, you talk. If you don't, you don't. We send you home.
It's not that we're not grateful for their service. Of course we are. It's just we've been where they're at. We've worn the uniform.
Yes.
We understand that. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel relaxed, and we want you to have a good time. Because a lot of times in the military, you're in very high stressful situations. You have very high highs and very low lows. And it's different for everybody. Um, I remember having a conversation with Steve and him telling me about one of the hardest days that he had overseas when he was deployed. And it was, I think it was the day the mortar hit when you were in the shower.
Yeah.
He was in the shower and a mortar, an inbound mortar hit the shower like a few stalls down.
It's more of a funny story than anything else.
Right. But
funny in the military way. And it was a rocket.
Yeah. So, I mean, but to experience that's incredibly terrifying.
You guys listening that were in the military know exactly what I'm talking about. At the time, it is, you're taking dime-sized holes out of your car seat. But in retrospect, it's fun.
Right. So, and then I tell him about certain things that I, encountered on the submarine underneath the ocean. And he goes, I could never do that.
No.
Right. And,
yeah,
like spending 2 weeks at Ultra Quiet, where the only time you could ever do is speak at a whisper. And that was only when you were on watch. So if you were not on watch, you had to go straight to your rack and not make a sound. Think about that. Think about the last time that you've been completely quiet for 2 weeks straight. Probably never happened.
That bubble gut might get you. Like,
right.
I hear a soda.
Every drop
I hear
of a wrench,
I hear
everything
a
is
solder home.
terrifying. And so what I'm saying is
Yeah.
although we have different experiences, we feel emotions
Mm-hmm.
and fear differently, but exactly the same. And what Heroes on the Water provides is for us to take those highs and take those lows and just wipe them away.
Mm-hmm.
And just come out to a calm, safe environment, have some fun, have some laughs, and have some good food and meet some really cool people.
One of the things we can't fail to mention is that we're one of the only charities for military that ask you to bring your family, to bring your children, to bring your wife, to have a day alone on the water with them at no expense and with no expectations.
Right. It's, we are grateful for our fellow nonprofit organizations, but a lot of times what they do is they will honor the veteran, which is great,
Mm-hmm.
but they take him on this amazing trip or this amazing day, but they take him or her away from their family yet again, to do this amazing thing. And he has to then come back home and tell his family, hey, I've spent the last 12 hours away from you, but I had a really good time.
Right.
Instead, we say, hey, take the next 8 hours, bring your family. We're going to feed them. We're going to put them out on a kayak. We're going to let your kid catch his first bass. And he's going to have a blast. And they're going to have.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you? All right. So I think they're having some technical difficulties on the Heroes on the Water Tidewater Chapter side. I heard a pop.
Did we lose you?
Yeah.
Did we lose you?
Yeah, we're back.
Roy, are you with us?
I hear you.
Show us a sign.
I'm there.
Nope.
I'm here.
Oh, people calling.
Sure.
Nope. Hold on.
Hey, did you lose us?
Yeah,
Nope,
it went completely black. It was like it popped. It's like, oh, okay, you're back. Can you hear me?
Hello. We are experiencing these. Hey, you might want to.
Should we leave and come back in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. 1, 2.
Hello.
Check 1, check 2.
We can see.
I don't know.
All right. Let me see if they come back in. So, just so they get back in, here we go. Let's try. Let's see.
Hey,
we're back.
There we go. All right, we're back in. I was trying to add some filler in there, like, oh, look, it's a bird.
Edit that one in post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did we leave off?
We were. I don't actually know because it went pop, and when it popped, I lost my train of thought. But we can transition over to memorable moments. So, in your time volunteering with Heroes on Water, do you have like a memorable moment that, I teach people photography sometimes, and they have the aha moment, like, okay, this moment. I have one that I could share, and it was with Keisha Brewington. She was an attendee, and she was out, and then she gave a testimonial at the end. And I would say, when you go there, you don't know what people have been through. You don't ask, but if they want to tell you, that's on them, like you said. But she got up and gave a testimonial of what she experienced to make her come out what she experienced when she came out, and it was like this heartfelt moment that was just like, oh wow, this is what it's all about. And you look around and like, okay, that's her story, but you have no clue what everyone else's story is. So
Right.
that was a moment for me where it was just like, oh my goodness. So is there one of those moments for you guys? I'm pretty sure that one is up there on the list too. But
I can definitely one of my favorite go-to memories to talk about is we had a gentleman that when he showed up, he was a little standoffish. He was the last one to get on the water. Um, was a little nervous, and as we pushed him off, he wasn't quite steady in his kayak. But like Steve said before, once you get out there, everything seems to slow down. And he started calming down, started getting a little more confident with his casts, started catching a couple of fish. And then as he was catching fish, he was lifting them up and he was talking trash to the other guys. And we came in for lunch and everybody was sharing deployment stories. And by the end of the day, he didn't want to leave. He didn't want the day to end. And he stayed to help us pack up the trailers and put everything away. And he goes, I got to tell you, Patrick, I need to know when's the next event. And I said, well, we're going to have another one in a month. And he goes, you mean we're not going to have one like next weekend? And I said, I mean, we could try to set something up, maybe a one-on-one, but we usually have at least one a month between March and October. And he's like, I got to tell you, man, this really meant a lot to me. And I said, well, I'm really glad. And he goes, no, I don't think you really understand. I haven't left my house in a year.
Mm. Yeah.
He had been so scared to leave his house because of what he'd gone through in service. But he told me that he goes, I finally felt something today that I hadn't felt in a long time since I left the service. I felt like I was a part of the team again. I felt like I had a community again. I felt like I had brothers again. And I'll tell you, that resonated with me to my core.
Mm-hmm.
Being a member of the military or the civil service, you become a part of this amazing fraternity, family. The only people that serve in civil service understand, because I might not know him from anyone in the world, but I know because of the training that he's had that he's going to put his life on the line when it matters most. And that's when I truly fell in love with this organization, was because I realized what we were giving back. We were giving back a friendship, a family, a brotherhood, a camaraderie that they miss out on when they leave the military or they leave the civil service. And I'll tell you that there are people that we can't and will never get rid of because of this organization. Someone that might have not come to one of our events might not be here tomorrow because of it. Our regional rep, Jason Austin, if you go to our website, heroesonthewater.org, and you watch his story, Heroes on the Water quite literally saved his life. I'm not going to tell his story for you. Please go to heroesonthewater.org, look up Jason Austin, and if you walk away from that story not shaken,
Jason's actually
You're a
going to be a
stronger
guest
man
on
than I
the
am.
podcast.
Right. So definitely, Steve, what kind of memories do you have?
Yeah, hard to follow that.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Like our allergies kicked in hard on that one.
hard. Oh no. So it was shortly after I started volunteering. Before I became a guide, I didn't know the front end from a back end of a kayak, but I was out there helping set up poles and getting people in the water and helping out as best I could. In one particular event, we had a gentleman show up who had lost the lower half of his right arm and the lower half of his left leg. And we have some mobility assist kayaks that help people like that out. And this guy looked so dejected when he showed up, like he was not going to be able to participate. And a group of us got together, helped him into the kayak. It was a Hobie Outback, so he had a prosthetic leg, so it allowed him to pedal. And we put a fishing pole in his hand, and he got out there, and the turnaround of attitude this gentleman had out on the water, and the sense of accomplishment he was able to achieve out there, being independent, being able to fish and talk to everyone else around them, really cemented it in my head that this was something I really wanted to be part of, and something I really wanted to learn and be better at. That way I could help more people. That is one of the driving forces in me becoming a better fisherman. It's not to win tournament. It's not to have the best kayak. It's not to have all the things. It's to be able to get out there and put somebody in a situation where they can be independent. They can fish for themselves and find their passion or their peace, whatever they want to do. We've had plenty of people come out, lay the fishing pole down in the kayak, kick back, and fall asleep. I've had plenty of people I paddle up to when they're snoring, but it gave them they were secure enough in that and confident enough that they could do that. So that those are the moments you have, when you help that one person find their path or find their passion or give them that little bit of independence they can't find anywhere else. Those are the ones that really cemented home, and we've had plenty of comedy shows out on the water too. I mean, one of the events the unit I serve with right now, it's 128th Aviation Brigade out of Fort Eustis, Virginia. I work right alongside with Green Suiters. This was I don't think you were part of this one, but before you came along. But we sponsored an event just for that unit. We do that. We've done the Truman, we've done the Aviation unit, we've done a few of these, but it was like 99.9% my unit I served with, and this female on her kayak, she was catching fish, she was having a blast. And I watched her from a bit of ways cast into a tree and start shaking her pole and reel up to it. And unfortunately, she had cast directly into a wasp nest. Ooh. And I've never seen anyone exit a kayak so fast. It looked like a Looney Tunes skit. Like she should have had a straw poking out of the water as she was swimming away. You build off that. Those are the things you utilize to create the story, to build that camaraderie. And she laughed about it too. It was great. It took us half an hour to recover the kayak because it drifted straight under the wasp nest. But it's yeah.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, it was big. It was the size of a football. But it's those things that allow you to build off those experiences, to build a story, to get people to come out to understand how this benefits everyone as a whole. Families, service members, retirees, veterans, every one of those people that come out. I don't think we've ever had anyone say a bad word about charity itself.
Well, that's the thing is the military's messy.
Yeah.
They literally trauma bond you. They started in boot camp. They beat you down so they can build you up together as a unit. So when you get out there, we ask everybody to chip in, everybody to help out, everybody load the kayaks.
Yep.
And they see the camaraderie, they see the team, they see the family aspect of it. And so, is every event clean cut and great? No. I mean, sometimes we get somebody that turtles and it takes us a half an hour to retrieve the kayak, sometimes rod for loss. But at the end of the day, everybody is having smiles. Everybody's having a good time.
The fin off your dad's truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one I went to, someone turtled, and for those who don't know, flipped their kayak. But then she had a wonderful event because she was up by a fire, snuggled, and I think she had hot chocolate. So it turned into
and we provided her with a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, that's one way to get a free T-shirt.
That actually reminds me of another one. His dad is a Navy veteran also, and there's a flat spot and the lake was a little bit low, and he had a pedal drive kayak, and I see them waving at me from afar, so I pedal up, and he lifts his drive out of the water, and one of the fins is missing off the bottom of it, and he's like, "Can you help me find?" So like 4 of us were knee deep in water on this flat, dragging our feet around, hoping to kick the fin, but it turned into a game of hide and seek for us. It was hilarious. It's those small moments where and again, the bonding portion of it. Like his dad was when was your dad in the Navy?
In the 70s.
In the 70s. Like the generational gap is completely bridged in times like that, where you can talk to the Vietnam vets, the guys that have served before you, or the guys that are serving currently. So we utilize those to build off create those bonds, get people to open up, allow them to vent if they want to, and then move on. And if they come back, we really, we encourage people to come back. If they don't have to. We also offer one-on-ones, where we will show up to a location, kayaks in hand for you and your family, and take you on a trip, just you, because there are always those people that do not feel comfortable in crowds, and we know this, and we've really focused on that in the last year. Last year we had 9 events where it was just either myself or one of the volunteers, one of the guides, out with a family or an individual.
Right. And my favorite question always to ask anybody that comes to one of our events is, how'd you hear about us? Probably the funniest opportunity I had is I had spent all day with this guy. He caught a lot of fish. He had a lot of laughs, had a lot of fun, and we're paddling back for lunch. And I say, "Hey man, how'd you hear about us?" And he goes, "Patrick, you don't remember?" And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I met you at Lowe's." And that's being the coordinator, being around Heroes on the Water, it becomes your narrative. It becomes who you are. You're always talking about. My kids complain about it all the time. They're like, "Oh, here goes Dad talking about Heroes on the Water again." But I approached a guy that was in uniform. I said, "Hey, do you like to fish?" And he goes, "I love to fish." I said, "Well, we're having this event. Look us up on Facebook, Heroes on the Water Chapter, and sign up for one of our events. Just find the Eventbrite post, sign up, show up." And it's been fun. Those kind of, "Hey, how'd you hear about us?" Those they're less and less. "Oh, I met you, Patrick." They're, "Oh, I saw your thing on television. I saw your thing on a podcast. I saw a bumper sticker. I met somebody in my unit command. They had one of the event flyers out, and I said, "Hey, maybe I'll give it a shot." And I'll tell you, that's the best thing that people can do for Heroes on the Water, is to talk about it. Right. Is to invite people that are maybe unsure about it, but that it would help.
Well, you could ask my business partner. I push Heroes on the Water more than I do my business. When we were out to lunch. A table full of Army came in, all in their uniforms. I was like, "I'm sorry to ruin your lunch, but this 22nd, there's going to be an event. Here, go check them out. You, the family, whomever, no obligation to bring anything." So Yeah, I do it as though I'm sponsored by them. Like it's like, boom.
You have no idea how much we appreciate that.
Absolutely. I mean, geez, we definitely caught the bug. We're branded. We're branded everywhere. I can remember a charity tournament for Tidewater Kayak Anglers Association. I'm going to plug them for a minute. Tidewater Anglers.
Do they help you? Do they help at all?
Tidewater Kayak Anglers Association puts on a charity tournament every year for us, and they've raised tens and 20s and hundreds of thousands of dollars for us.
19 years.
19 years from now. I think this year's 20.
This is the 20th anniversary.
And we would, as a chapter, we would not exist without them. Because of their help and those charity tournaments. But I remember one year we went to a charity tournament and we had the wonderful opportunity to meet Jim Dolan, the founder of Heroes on the Water. And we didn't know it then, but it was literally weeks before he passed.
A week.
And first night is a captain's meeting before the tournament. And we just went up and we said, we'd just like to shake your hand, sir. We're really grateful for what you've given us. And he spent the rest of the evening at our table. We were chit-chatting. And so we then went out, we did our fishing the next day, and we came back, and Jim came back and sat at our table again and spent the rest of the night talking our ears off about Heroes on the Water. And at the end of the night, handed us both a challenge coin. And I know I can speak for Steve when I say this, is that at that point, I knew, and I'd only been with Heroes on the Water for a year at that time. I knew that Heroes on the Water was going to be a bigger part of my life. Mm-hmm. And I
think you timed out again. Technical difficulties once again. Must be on a Samsung. All right, guys. So I'm going to probably end up having to pop them out and get them back in. And once they come in,
Hey.
I said he must be on a Samsung.
Nah, apparently every time I get a phone call, it knocks me off.
Oh.
But Jim did something to us that night. Mm-hmm. He made us have a passion for this organization, and he challenged us to stay friends, but also to make as many friends as we could in fishing. And we've made it basically our mission since to become that. I think the best story to tell about us is how we became co-coordinators.
All right. Let's jump into that after I do two things. Number one, sure. There's a question that came through that I want to address because this is from Top Shelf Fishing. He said, really wish there was a chapter up here in Maine. How would he go about creating his own chapter? Because he could do that, could he not?
Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing. So on heroesonthewater.org, there is under a Find My Chapter. If there is not a chapter in your area, there is contact information that you can contact National on our website, and then they'll tell you the steps that you need to go to start a chapter. Our chapter was already rolling, but we had the one that was the wonderful opportunity that we had to kind of take over a chapter that was kind of already going and to nurse it back to what it is today. but they will literally, they will give you all the paperwork to sign up. They will, once you gather the fundraising funds, they will bring kayaks to you. They will bring trailers to you. They will bring everything you need. And as long as there are people that are willing, that are able, that want to start a chapter, they'll help you do that. We want to grow our community. Right now, I think we're at 52, 53 chapters in the U.S. So
if you do open a chapter, invite us.
Yeah.
We'll come down there and we'll help you with your first event. I'll be one of your guides. I have no problem doing it at all.
Heck yeah. And he said the closest is in Connecticut. I mean, even the ones in Connecticut, I'm sure they're just like you guys. They'll come down to help out.
Yep.
That whole helping hand. So, yeah, I saw that come through, and I was like, I just want to make sure that gets addressed because I know that
absolutely
he can definitely do that. So, all right, with the midway point, a little past, but we're good to go. Kayak Coffee sponsors a question and answer portion of the podcast. So I have a gentleman, Stephen Burge, has some questions. Let's see what he's got here. So the first question is kind of funny, but I'm gonna address it. You said, "How did you get so awesome, Roy?" I don't think I'm awesome, but I will say that I think that my roots from my parents. My dad has been a huge giver, religious and based, so I get a lot from him. And my mom, I get my humor from her. She's good. She's a giver too, but she's funny without intending to be funny. So, all right, question 2. When Steve outfishes Patrick, where does Patrick go to cry?
Funny thing funny thing about that, and a lot of fishing people have said this, one of our favorite things to do at any of our events, at any of our private fishing outings, things like that, is to skunk Steve. My first year of fishing, I went bobber fishing as a Boy Scout. I went fishing with my grandfather, but I didn't really, I wouldn't really consider that sport fishing. I didn't really get into the sport fishing mentality until I met Steve. I went an entire year without catching a fish, and I was dedicated to it. I really tried. I really, really tried. And Steve had this uncanny ability to walk up to me on a dock, and I've been fishing the same spot for 30 minutes. He would throw the exact same lure right where I was casting for the last 30 minutes and pull a fish out. And it angered me so much. It made me so angry until I started catching. And I started catching more, and I could, and not just on one lure, but on 2 lures, not just a Senko, but a crankbait and a spinner and a chatterbait, all of the different things. I became a more well-rounded fisherman. And I'll tell you, doesn't matter how big of a bass I caught, doesn't matter how many I've caught. If I catch one fish and he doesn't catch any, that is the best day of fishing that I have ever had.
One time.
Oh, it's happened way more than one time. Way more than one time. And every time it happens, it's amazing. And I'll tell you, the even better one than me skunking you is when my daughter does it.
She's a badass, though.
So for those of you that don't know, Patrick brings a ringer to some of the events. Very unassuming, just like, oh, what? Bam, bam, bam.
I'll tell you, last year we had a tournament, an in-person tournament with Tidewater Kayak Anglers Association at the lake that we're going to this Saturday. And Aurora, in a borrowed kayak, a borrowed rod, and a purple Senko, outfished 3 professional fishermen and 15 other anglers.
Yeah.
And to top it all off was she was measuring incorrectly, and she could have had more inches.
Yep.
Remember that? He's like,
Yep.
you're not, you're losing inches. She's like, wow, who needs extra?
So I will say this: one of the greatest feelings I've had is watching them improve. From watching the frustration in Patrick turn into elation when he starts to understand the pattern, when he starts to understand the environment, when he understands the season, and he matches stuff up. It has been amazing. He has gone from a basically beat the water with a pole fisherman to a skilled angler, and it's really made me one of the proudest people ever because it's happening right in front of me.
Well, I mean, the fun thing about it too is that then I become the teacher as well.
Yep.
I got my dad at 70 years old into kayak fishing.
Yep.
And now we call him the torturer of the month because he sent while we're all sitting in our cubicles working, he's retired. And so every day at about 9 o'clock, we get a ding and it's just a big grin and a fish. And we're like, really? Again?
Yep.
And
trying to open up my phone. I'm on that text list and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
First fish of the year. First fish of the year. Like, man, Bob, come on.
Yeah. And so, I mean, to see my daughter take an interest in fishing and where it'll be a humdrum day at school and I'll get a text message from my 15-year-old daughter and she'll say, Dad, can we go fishing? To literally when Steve became a dad.
Yeah.
And Avery was barely old enough to hold her head up or to wobbly walk, to grab a fish with her bare hands and be excited about it. Those are memories that are going to stick out in my life forever.
Even at the events when they're running around like catching the frogs, and they're having their, those are the moments that are just, it's just.
Or here you go. We'll talk a little bit about Isle of Kauai. Terry Cheeseman, I know she doesn't want me to say her name, but I can't thank her enough. She lets us come out to her property. She has two beautiful lakes side by side, and she has a farm. She trains border collies and dogs to sheep herd, and so she has sheeps and lambs and goats, and she'll bring out a baby lamb for all of the kids to pet and to feed, bottle feed.
It's a little zoo.
And everyone's happy. Everyone. The dad's happy that he got to go, skirt off into the one cove and catch a big bass. The mom's happy that she got to float into a shaded area and take a nap for a while. The kid's excited because he fell in the lake and he got wet and caught a frog.
And then got to feed the donkey.
And got to feed the donkey.
Yes.
That's highlight of the trip.
That has its own Instagram page that I wish I remembered what it was. I would shout him out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, you can take a picture, but you've got to tag. It's failing me.
It's Michael the donkey.
I think it is. Yeah, Michael the donkey.
And he loves peppermint.
He does.
But I could go on and on and on about our events. They are just they are a highlight. I'll tell you, this is our first event of this of the year. I cannot wait for Saturday to come. Steve and I talk about it all the time. We get an itch around this time. We have to go fishing. We want to go fishing. But what's exciting is that we have the wonderful opportunity to bring our passion to a younger generation, to an older generation, to a new generation. If you don't ever fish again after you come to one of our events, great. I guarantee when you come, you'll have a good time, you'll eat well, and you'll meet some amazing people.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think even it was Keisha brought her family. They didn't even, some of them didn't even fish. They just paddled
Yeah.
around. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just whatever you want to make it out to be. And that's the cool thing about it. Like you said, there's no expectations. There's
Yeah.
opportunity, but there's no expectations. So
Right.
I have another question. This is from Chancey Cotton. He wants to know what expansion looks like for you guys. What does future expansion look like?
So let me take you from where we started. All right. So COVID, it was horrible for everybody. We all got locked indoors. We all got masked. We couldn't be around our friends. We couldn't be around our family, and a lot of times we lost a lot of friends and family, and it was horrible. And Heroes on the Water shut down, at least in our area. But luckily, me and Steve, we looked at each other and we said, we don't want it to stop. We want to keep going out. And so we, oddly enough, I'm gonna turn around and see if you can see it.
That's your ass.
Oh, I thought you were gonna start twerking. I was like, not again.
I gotta get those.
So what happened was
We started Kayak Anglers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a group of buddies just like us.
Yep.
Service members that wanted to kayak fish and then wanted to get their buddies into kayak fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started holding our own events. And what was funny was Tidewater Kayak Anglers Association, they saw how much we were doing off of our Facebook page and how much Heroes on the Water had died down in the area. They offered us 10 grand.
We're not a 501c3.
We're not a charity. We're just a group of buddies. But we said, we can't accept your money, but maybe we can talk about taking over the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we talked with the current chapter coordinator, and he had run the chapter for
16 years.
Yeah. I mean, he had a long run, and he was ready to hand over the reins. And I'll tell you, it was a little bumpy that first year as he was turning things over. We didn't have as many events as that we thought we were going to. I think we planned 6 and ended up having 4.
Yeah.
But the next year, we
10.
had 10 events.
Nice.
And we bought, at the end of that year, we bought a 20-foot enclosed trailer.
It's not including one-on-ones either.
And we got donated by Bonafide Kayaks.
Mm-hmm.
4 brand new kayaks for our chapter.
Shout out to Bonafide.
Shout out to Bonafide. Hans Newts, I love you, buddy. I can't thank you enough for what those kayaks have done for us, for our community. And then this year, what are we going to bring to the table? What's new? Well, I'm happy to say that Jackson Kayaks just gave us 6 brand new kayaks to upgrade our fleet. Some of our kayaks have been around for years.
Yeah, we have our old fleet prior to Bonafide. Some were 10 to 15-year-old kayaks. That this is why they're getting recycled through.
Yeah, and so now we have a newer fleet. They're a little more comfortable. They're a little more agile. They're a little more stable. We were able to then also shout out to our most recent. What is he in the Senate now?
Who?
Luther Cyphers.
Oh yeah, Luther Cyphers,
the CEO of Yak Attack. They hooked us up with rod holders and with visipoles,
mm-hmm.
so that we can outfit our kayaks more. Where we're going is we're going to continue to improve our fleet. Hopefully, wrap our trailer.
So one of the things you have to understand about expansion, it's not about how many kayaks we have. It's not about what equipment we have. It's about the volunteers that we have. We do not currently have enough volunteers to go through and add more kayaks to our current fleet. How many do we have right now?
So we have 22 kayaks. So here's the problem that I have all the time. You want to know how do we expand? I need somebody that can pull my trailer so that I can bring my kayak to the event. Instead of bringing my kayak to the event, I have to pull a trailer of everybody else's kayaks.
Yeah.
Or I have to bring my trailer of kayaks the night before, stage it, and then bring it. So I need volunteers. They say, well, get another trailer. Well, with that other trailer, I need someone else to pull it.
Yeah, it's the curse of every charity organization out there. You can only grow as big as your support allows.
Okay.
So which brings we can segue that into the volunteers that you wanted to talk about.
So let me ask you this. What does a volunteer look like to you guys? Who can volunteer? Because when I hear a military organization, a lot of times you think you want other military to come in, but as a civilian who's experienced it, I know that anyone's welcome as long as they have their own kayak to be.
My best guide on the water was a 9-year-old. Okay, he came with his dad with his own kayak. He gave from his tackle box, and he put the people that he was guiding on the water on the fish. Okay, so if a 9-year-old can guide on the water, anybody can help.
That being said, you do not have to have your own kayak to volunteer.
Right. We had a wonderful elderly couple that didn't want to participate in the water aspect of it, but they came out and they helped with the check-in process. They helped with the food. They helped with the cleanup. We have shore fishing. If people want to help with that, if you just want to come out and help us unload and load the kayaks, we want to have you there.
Yeah. Perfect. Volunteering, much like the charity itself, is a no pressure situation. If you come out and you say, I want to volunteer, but I'd only like to help with the food, or I'd only like, whatever you feel comfortable doing, that's all we ask. Then you can pick up a fishing pole and fish with the rest of us.
Exactly.
It's not something where we don't have a checklist. So, well, you didn't help set up poles, you didn't know. Just whatever you want to come and help with. And we've had people come out and just watch kids.
And I get this all the time too. Well, do I have to be a member of the military to come out to an event? I said, no, you do not. If you're volunteering, some of our best volunteers. I mean, our secretary right now, Chris Lamb, he has been coming out to Heroes on the Water events for years and acting as a guide and helping us tow kayaks and things like that. Never been a member of the military, but he is one of the hardest working volunteers that we have.
He was actually recognized as a volunteer of the year by the national chapter this year.
Yeah. And so
well deserved.
Yeah.
If you enjoy kayak fishing, if you enjoy helping the military, if you enjoy helping our firefighters, our police officers, please, by all means, get in touch with me via Facebook, on our Heroes on the Water Tidewater Chapter, and shoot me a message. I would love to have you at one of our events, helping helping our veterans, helping our police officers, our firefighters. Have a good day.
Perfect. Now, let's transition over into what a participant. You said earlier about just show up basically. So for a lot of people I tell about Heroes on the Water that come through our photo studio, they're like blown away with the fact that all they have to do is show up. You give them the kayak.
So very important. You're on our Facebook page, you see an event pop up, and you go to Eventbrite. It's the platform that we use. You click on the link and you're going to say, get your tickets. Once you get your tickets and you've got which are free.
Right.
Once you got your ticket confirmation, I need you to do 2 other things. I need you to sign our 2 waiver forms. One is a safety waiver. The other is a media waiver that allows us to take pictures and post them on our Facebook and stuff like that, so that we can show everybody what a good time you had. Other than that, that's all I ask of you. You sign up that, and then you show up. When you show up, dress comfortably. Dress for the day on the water in the sunshine. Bring your sunscreen,
water shoes,
or things that can get wet, because hopefully you won't, but you probably will, because you are in a kayak. But if you'd like to bring your own fishing gear, you're welcome to. Do we have a lot of fishing gear? Steve, do you have a lot of fishing gear?
Ask my wife.
Yes. we could probably outfit our own Bass Pro Shop. And so you don't need to bring anything.
Yep.
We provide water, we provide Gatorade. One of the more important things to know is we are a dry event. That being said, we don't understand what kind of struggles other people are going through, what kind of things that they're dealing with. Some people are dealing with substance abuse, and we don't want to make that the forefront. And so we ask that you leave your alcohol at home, but we will provide everything. We'll have water, we'll have Gatorade, sometimes soda, and we'll have food. One of our other non-military member volunteers, Kenny Stansel, big shout out to Kenny. He cooks some of the most amazing food. I'm talking ribs. I'm talking barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
I'm talking coleslaw. I'm talking
baked
beans, macaroni and cheese. And his mom makes the best cupcakes.
If you leave hungry, it's your own fault.
And cheesecake bites. And
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're going away fat.
You're going to eat well. So what is a participant? What do we expect you to do? We expect you to sign up, show up, and dress appropriately.
Wait, there is one requirement you're missing.
Have fun.
You have to wear your PFD.
Everyone must wear a personal flotation device.
Yes.
Which we provide.
Yeah.
We provide the PFDs. We provide the fishing gear. We provide the fishing tackle. We provide the guide. We provide the kayaks. We provide the location.
Yep.
We provide the food. We provide the drinks. All you need to worry about is show up and have a good time.
Yep.
And throughout the year, we will change locations. We have the Isle of Calais ponds that we go to, which are amazing fisheries. But once a year, normally around the July timeframe, there is a private fishing club that donates an old mill pond to us that has absolute monster fish in it. And that is one of those events that sells that completely gets packed every year, because the word of mouth has gotten around that we get this private fishing club pond that is maintained and well balanced for fish.
But also for our saltwater fishermen.
We got what else?
We do events on saltwater. We go out to Dandy Point, Wallace's Bait and Tackle. I'm hoping to get out to Rudy Inlet at some point. We do saltwater as well. We have anglers.
I believe in doing.
Hey, sorry. I'm apparently a really popular guy, and I keep getting phone calls. Can't hear you, Roy.
Did you hit?
There we go. I said it was Steve calling you. He's like, Patrick's taking my time.
Oh no, he can talk all he wants.
I will say Patrick told me that he was going to make Steve talk the whole time, so that's what he told me. I was going to direct every question. So, running an organization, Steve, what do you think? So, yeah, I will say, as I said when I first started, meeting you guys was an amazing happenstance in my life. Getting to work with the organization, as you know, and I don't know if you could hear it, my neighbors next door have just started their band. They're actually playing really well, so it's like free background music. But
there
anyway,
we
go. Watching you two work together, you are a complementary set of individuals that if you sit back and watch, you two play off each other really, really well. Like I think the fact that you two have gotten together to do this organization is an amazing thing as well, because when one is running here, the other one's making sure that everyone is still doing what they should do, and vice versa. So it's quite a experience to watch you two work.
I appreciate that, Roy. I mean, honestly, I I couldn't make the chapter what it is without my volunteers behind me. I could name them all by name specifically because they're my buddies that we fish with, and they come out event after event and they show up when I need them the most. And even when they're not here, they're working behind the scenes. I can honestly say, while Steve was at Disney World with his family, he was making posts on our Facebook page. He was doing things while he was supposed to be with his family. He's taking a little bit of time out to put towards Heroes on the Water because he feels the most about it.
Right.
And everybody says, "Wow, Patrick, you're doing an amazing job." And I said, "I'm not doing
wow, Patrick, you're doing an amazing job.
It's
Patrick.
the guys that are helping me that are the ones behind it. It's Roy, it's you, it's Steve, it's Doogie, it's Chris, it's Mike, it's Troy, it's Jerome, it's my dad.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the ones that make me look great.
He's just a pretty face.
Yeah,
it's the beard. I get it a lot.
It's the beard.
But I couldn't be as successful as I am in this chapter and in this organization without the guys that stand behind me and lift me to the status that I am. And I am incredibly humbled and incredibly grateful for everyone that steps up and volunteers for not just for me, but for this organization. And I can't thank them enough from the bottom of my heart.
I will say, and I think you know this being in the positions you've been in, but in order for them to do that for you, it shows a certain level of your character that they want to do it. So you are an awesome individual, and I noticed that from the first time I went, because like I was the outsider looking in, and I was like, man, bam, 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 and like you said, people were helping and doing this, and like, I need you to do this or this, and it was just this well-oiled machine. And then everyone arrived. It continued, but on a lower, I would say a lower stress level, visibly. Perfect event. When it was time to go, you're like, okay, I need to have this done. Boom. And it was like, we're back to normal. I was like, oh, this is crazy. Yeah. So yeah, you bring a lot to the table too. There are a lot of volunteers that push you up. You are absolutely right, but they're doing it because of who you are.
I appreciate that, but the honor is all. Honestly, the honor and the thanks all go to them. And
humble. There's a reason why we push him to the forefront, because he is such a good leader. Because he does have that forethought and foresight to do the things that need to be done to make sure we have a good event. So humble. He's not humble enough. No, he's amazing at what he does, and he's amazing in so many other ways that help us out. So it's one of those things where he'll say no, but yes, take the freaking compliment.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. So
Steve, I need to turn the light over to Steve for a minute.
Who's that guy?
Steve is where I'm the chapter coordinator. Steve is a national ambassador.
Wow.
Steve's has been asked by National for Heroes on the Water to go out and to find people to help boost our relations.
So when he told Top Shelf, who said he's looking at starting when he said he was going there, he meant it because he's an ambassador.
Yeah. So what we do is we work with the national branch to help get the word out, to help contact industry partners, to ensure that the communication of what we want, what we need, what we do is out there. I'm gonna do a really quick shout out to a company that you already know of, Snake River Lockers. They're absolutely amazing in sponsoring your program, but they're also helping us out. We're working currently on something really big with them that'll come out later this year, and I'm hoping USA Kayak Fishing Magazine will do the drop on that. But I'm personally buying a trailer from them, but I'm having it completely heroes on the water out. It will be a demonstration piece for us because not only are we doing the events throughout the year, but we have some great partners in the community. I'll let you talk to that one. One of them is a 5K run, and I'm going to let you go with that one.
Okay, so every Memorial Day weekend, one of our local sponsors, Colonial Sports and Colonial Sports Embroidery, they put on all of our 5Ks, our marathons, and they sponsored a in honor of 5K. It happens every Memorial Day weekend, and where they read out the local people that have been lost and given the ultimate sacrifice of their life in the military. And so we run that 5K for them, but all the proceeds of that 5K come to our chapter. So they have a walk, they have a run, they have you can make it whatever you want, or you can just show up and donate, knowing that it's going to go to a wonderful cause, that it's going to go directly to your local veterans, your local firefighters, your local police officers. It is pretty special. So with the national and the local aspect of it, we have sponsors that give graciously to us. Every one of our hats that we that we give out at our areas, and if you donate enough money, we give you a hat. Are made by Colonial Sports Embroidery. A lot of our shirts that we give for a certain amount of donation to us are then also made and donated by Colonial Sports Screen Printing and Embroidery. So we're really grateful for them. Let's see.
It's a case of not only the local community but the international community coming together to help support organizations like ours.
Yeah.
The Snake River Lockers, the embroidery, all the little pieces and parts that we have on our shirts here. We want to recognize them because they do this without any hope of return on investment. What they do is they just give.
Jackson Kayaks, Bonafide Kayaks, Yak Attack, Oak Tree Outfitters, local here in Gloucester, in the Tidewater area, every year promotes and gives to Heroes on the Water.
And a lot of people underestimate the local shops. I mean, you've got to really support them so they could continue to support.
So one of the things that happens is we do get people that come out and they enjoy kayak fishing to the point where they want to start doing it themselves. And the local kayak shop is the best place to start because not only do they have multiple brands, multiple types of kayaks, they have the knowledge and experience to help you actually get out on the water with something that's going to be good for you.
Don't do it like I did. Don't start in a $80 7-foot
Walmart special.
Walmart sit-in kayak. So Oak Tree Outfitters was perfect. I remember I had an upcoming kayak trip that I wanted to go to. I had sold my previous kayak. I went there with the money to purchase and upgrade my kayak. I completely was like, I'm going to buy this kayak. I got in it. I sat in it and realized I couldn't get out of it because of my knees and my back. From my time in service, I just couldn't do it. And so I was able to sit and to play and to look and to touch and to feel multiple different brands, multiple different styles. of kayaks, and I was able to find the kayak that I needed. And so that's the great thing about going to, not, I don't want to say anything bad about the big box stores, because they have their place in our store. All right. And but our local shops are what allow us to do that, and we need to keep those alive so that we don't lose them, because they're a wealth of knowledge. And they really truly help our community. And that's what the ambassador program is about, is connecting with these local shops, these other businesses, to get our mission, paddle fish heal, to the world, but also to help them, help us, help you.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one thing. Oak Tree Outfitters and TKA are currently running a raffle for a kayak and motor setup. It's $50 a ticket. You can choose either a Hobie Outback pedal drive or a Native Slayer propel kayak, and it'll come with a electric motor. The tickets are $50. They're only selling 200 tickets.
Believe it, it's a Newport Systems NK 180 Pro.
So if those tickets that are bought go to pay for the facilities and the food and all those things at the end of the year that benefit our organization, so that tournament is directly paid for by this raffle. So if you are a kayaker, you know someone that's a kayaker, this is a great chance to get a top end kayak and motor for them or yourself.
Yeah, the best kayak, and the $50 winning kayak.
Yeah, I've got 3 tickets.
And if anybody goes, oh, I never win those. If there's any kayak raffle, he has won 8 of them.
I've had a grand total. I've won a grand total of 5 kayaks.
So I was gonna mention this later, but whenever anyone asks questions on the questionnaire, they're entered in a drawing for kayak coffee. And Steve has whenever he's available, has asked questions, and he popped up, and he was the February winner.
No way! No way!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have.
Oh, I can't wait to try that.
3 big bags of kayak coffee coming your way.
Yep. Yes, sir.
I was like,
nice.
This Joker wins everything. So.
Well, I mean, just so you know, he did not win the last kayak raffle for TKA. That was actually won by Chris Heffley.
Yep.
One of our brother organizations, the Fallen Outdoors. He won a Hobie Pro Angler 12.
Yep.
And it's beautiful and it works great. And he used it for the first time at one of our events.
Yep.
And it's where we became friends. And like I said, kayak fishing brings people together.
So one of the things I do as the national ambassador is we do inner charity outreach. So we will partner up with other veterans charities like the Fallen Outdoors and help support them, help go to their events, help volunteer at their events. And it's one of those things where in the charity space, people feel that there is competition for bodies. What we decided is we're not going to do that. If we see a charity that does something that we like, or we see a charity that benefits somebody in a different way, we are going to support them wholeheartedly. We've been to their Fallen Outdoor events. They've come to our events. We've helped volunteer at their events. They've helped volunteer at our events.
We volunteer at all of our local 5Ks that Colonial Sports puts on. And they put on things for Relay for Life. They put for one was for the reading program recently, and for CHKD, and so we support by providing volunteers that we can for that. We don't just have on the water events; we have off the water events.
Army Navy game every year
at Revolution Golf and Grill.
Oh,
we
God.
we have the Army Navy. This would have been the perfect time to make you wear a T-shirt. We have an annual bet where whoever wins, team wins, Navy or Army. You better not make me wear it now. My team won this year. Um, anyway, so I'm going to say this while he's gone. Go Navy. You will continue to beat Army. But at our off the water event at the Army Navy game, we will have a friendly competition where the other person has to wear a Navy or an Army shirt.
You don't have to wear it now.
No, it's got to happen on Saturday.
Here is well, he'll be wearing on Saturday.
That's because I lost the previous year, and so he hadn't got me my T-shirt yet. Wait till he sees his.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, off the water events, Army Navy game.
Yeah.
You get some good food, some good camaraderie, little gentle ribbing, but it's a lot of fun. And we're hopefully this next winter we're going to try to have a few other off the water get-togethers, maybe a pizza night, and we always also try to do like a cleanup where we get some volunteers together and we clean up one of our local spots that has allowed us to come out to their ponds and we help clean up their area and leave it better than what we found.
And we've done a few volunteer appreciation events where we invite the people that have volunteered throughout the year out to either a special location, special event. We get on the water with them, or we do something special. Ed Allen's out Chickahominy Lake has a really good lunch spot right on the water. Go out, fish for half the day, come back, buy them lunch. It's one of those things where if you don't show that appreciation, they don't feel appreciated. Period. So we try to always ensure they know we recognize them.
So I think that with that, you got anything else that you want to ask us, Roy? Other than that, I know we got work in the morning.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah, we're about 30 minutes over in our conversation that I think we could continue for a couple more hours. So,
Yeah.
but like I said before, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything you do. I thank you for coming on the podcast. And if they want to know about any Heroes on the Water chapter, they can go to heroesonthewater.org.
Yep.
And then they can come to the Tidewater Chapter Heroes on the Water Facebook page to find out about all the events that you discussed, such as the 5K and things like that, and all the upcoming events. And anyone that's local in Virginia Beach or Tidewater area, this weekend there's one coming up on the 22nd. If you want to go in and sign up for it, either as a volunteer or as a participant, if there's spots available, please do so. Just make sure you do the Eventbrite as well as the 2 waivers so that everything's covered and they know how many wonderful meals to make.
Quick shout out to Thomas Widgeon. Thank you for watching our podcast. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That's my dad.
Also, to our friend in Maine, if you get that chapter started, let us know. We'd really like to come out there and help you out.
Really would. That's the great thing about our other chapters is that we can get together. We can learn from each other's mistakes, our benefits, our successes. And the only thing that I'd love to leave you guys with is if we can ever help you, if you have been at home for a while and you haven't had that camaraderie, felt that brotherhood, that sisterhood that you needed when you left the military, when you left civil service, please reach out to us on our Facebook page, our messenger. If you're watching this and you're not in the Tidewater area, please go to heroesonthewater.org, find a chapter in your area, and reach out. We would love to help you. We would love to be your friend. We'd love to take you fishing. Not only that, not only you, but your family as well.
Yeah. And if you're a veteran or first responder and you don't feel comfortable in crowds, message us. We will schedule a one-on-one event at your time, at your leisure, and get you on the water just to experience a good day.
Awesome.
Roy, and thank you. I can't thank you enough for this. USA Kayak Fishing Magazine. Go check it out. Read it. It's got some great articles. This man is amazing. He puts some. He's got pros in the area. Good tips for fishing. The right kind of gear to use. I don't know how you have the time to put on this and do a podcast, but Roy, we love you. Thank you for having us out.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to send you guys in the back and I'm going to say goodbye to everyone and I'll come back in and we'll say goodbye. All right.
Roger.
All right. Thank you all for sticking with us. Meeting them and getting to talk with them, and we could just chat for hours. So I think it was a great conversation. I have said to everyone every moment of my existence that if you want to volunteer somewhere and you like to fish, Heroes on the Water is a no-brainer. You have to give it an opportunity and give back. Snake River Manufacturing, as well as No Bad Days Kayak, are wonderful sponsors. Check them out. Snake River Manufacturing makes beautiful kayak trailers, and they are revolutionizing the way that you build and purchase kayak trailers. It's quite amazing. Check out No Bad Days Kayak. Forrest at No Bad Days Kayak is a wealth of knowledge. He's a wonderful human being. Great facility, and they have great shipping for kayaks. So if you are not in Texas where they're located, they can get a kayak to you almost anywhere in the United States. So give them a chance, give them a call, check them out. Also, we have some of the kayakcoffee.com has given us a code for 20% off. If you go to kayakcoffee.com, you can get 20% off by using code CAFE20. The cups are available through Nico's Art Therapy, which is all right. Well, thank you all, and it has been a wonderful wonderful time. Look forward to seeing you guys next week, and have a good night.